Good morning. It is Sunday, the 7th of October. You're here with the Crypto Divas with me, Gillian Gossel, and my partner in crime, Liina Bilson. Liina looks very elegant again today. I look like the shaggy dog that crawled
No,
into
you
the
look
bushes.
great. You look great. Love it.
Oh, well, we're happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to kick off, maybe?
Yeah, I actually found an article. This is not from this week, but I thought I'd mention it anyway because it's really rather interesting. There's a really interesting lady called Caitlin Long. She's a former Morgan Stanley executive and worked at Wall Street for decades. I met her in New York at the Women on Blockchain event. And there's an interview with her on CryptoCoins News, and she's saying something that really, really interesting here. So currently, how trading works, on how trades are settled on Wall Street, is it is done 2 days after the trade date. It used to be 5 days after the trade date, and it's just nonsense. And if you think of things like blockchain, there is no 2 days after anything. It just gets confirmed, goes into the next block. So this is sort of why Wall Street doesn't want to do anything with blockchain and Bitcoin, because then they would start losing money, because they are essentially, when you buy or when you trade, you're actually getting an IOU that you're not actually getting the thing that you're buying. So They are making so much money from these transactions, and if they were instant, which it makes sense that they would be, they'd miss out. So yeah, she's now really heavily promoting that we need to change things, and yeah, so that's
I was just interviewing somebody from Georgia Boomich, who's the CEO of Nobar. And it's a very big project. It's on the EOS platform, but it's all about enabling commerce and having escrow accounts, and so there's no fraud, whether you're like an eBay seller or you're doing recruitment or whatever. So it's just a simplifying the process. And the reason he got into it was because his family has a garment making business, and they when you actually sort of trade internationally, the international trade finance, it's the biggest con job going. It's the most expensive courier system in the world, and the banks make a fortune. They make trillions on it, and they don't actually do anything. It's all off balance sheet, and they don't. It's all paper based in this day and age. It's absolutely crazy. So anything that changes up the banks is good. It's like I was chairing actually a blockchain and finance conference in Dublin this week, and I got up. I was full of bankers, right? A lot of bankers. The chairman of Barclays was there, and a lot of big names are there. And I said, I hate banks, And it was funny because my co-chair, we had an argument. He had said, but you need banks, he said, because if you've got 2 million in your bank account and you want to transfer it to Australia, you don't trust a bank. Never use a wire transfer service. And we had a fought on the phone. I couldn't beat him on that argument. But then I suddenly went, hang on. Yeah, I mightn't have 2 million in my bank account, highly unlikely. But every month I transfer money, I make digital payments to my utilities, my phone, my broadband. Would I trust them with an alternative supplier? A fintech that was faster, cheaper, and maybe gave me customer service? Of course I would. So I said at the very start of the banking conference about how much I hated banks. I think they're all gone. So I'm not sure if I'll be invited back next year. But actually, in fairness, one guy was there from KPMG, and he said funds trading. He said they've migrated onto the blockchain and they've saved 60% of the costs. So it's happening.
Yes, definitely. So what else I have here? Oh, so there's apparently a Bitcoin breakthrough. So there's this guy called Mark Friedenbach. He's the co-founder of Blockstream, and they've come up with a thing that you wouldn't need a hard or soft fork to increase block sizes for Bitcoin. However, it's getting sort of a bad rap a little bit. So some call it a breakthrough, the other ones call it a network attack. So they are proposing that if you would just need to increase block size or do any changes, it would just be done. But the question here is, who makes that decision? If if Bitcoin, if there is no king of Bitcoin or CEO, who gets to decide that now we are? And to be honest, the whole reaching consensus with Bitcoin, we know that this, it isn't working. You see, last year the hard fork.
Yeah.
I mean, it was mad. You have, if everyone has the right to vote, then nothing gets done, as we see. However, this is, you start to think that then why is there some person who decides? So it's, not sure good or bad, but interesting, definitely.
Yeah, it was interesting. I got lots of real world stories, because we're not talking about the price, we're talking about mass adoption. And there was a survey done by Historia Alliance, which is a global not-for-profit organization of life science firms. And they said that in life sciences, the blockchain adoption has gone up 60%. 60% of professionals are now looking at blockchain. And that's up from last year of only 22% of life sciences professionals looking at blockchain. And the biggest impediment they're finding to actually adopting blockchain is the lack of skilled personnel. So they want to do it, but they can't find out. So that's interesting too. That's like, from 22% up to 60%. That's huge. And then also, I saw as well, I was like, oh my God, BlackBerry. I thought BlackBerry was dead. I thought it was totally gone. And they have announced a blockchain solution to secure data from healthcare providers to improve better patient outcomes. It's called the BlackBerry Spark. It's a data entered by patients, laboratories, and IoT biometric devices. They're tamper-proof, anonymous, and then that data is shared with researchers. So, but it's about BlackBerry. Who's heard about BlackBerry for ages? I mean, that used to be the dominant sort of like smart device in your hand before smartphones came. So they're also looking to kick their way back into the industry.
That's interesting. That's kind of similar to the Estonian e-health system.
Yes.
Yeah.
I coach you a lot on that, actually, funnily enough. I say, now my friend Liina, she has them. But it's so cool.
Yeah. I need to look up on that. I also thought BlackBerry was dead.
I was just like shocked. And it's the leading story. It's only announced, I think, yesterday or whatever. So it's like, wow. And it does make sense, because if you're selling the data, if you want to sell the data, it helps, pharma companies and research companies, create better drugs faster, and it pays the person whose data they use.
Yeah, definitely. I found something that's cool. I always like when universities are doing something with blockchain. So there's a major Chinese university is proposing blockchain technology as a better way to manage web domain names. And they've published a patent application at the US Patent and Trademark Office. And they're trying to figure out how to use a consortium blockchain to improve security and efficiency in managing top-level domains. Wow. So, yeah, it is.
That's interesting. I thought when you said university, I thought you were going to say, because Yale, Yale has invested in a 400 million crypto fund, Paradigm. Yeah. So that it's set up by industry veterans and Coinbase and Sequoia. But they have like a 30 billion endowment fund. I mean, like universities, the big Ivy League universities in America, they have so much money. And they don't pay tax. I saw a video recently, they don't pay tax. They have so much money. And yet student debt is still growing. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's a big problem.
It's a big sinister, isn't it? They're making so much money that they are actually investing it. Yeah. So people should come to Estonia. The universities are free here.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, ours are technically free, but you got to pay registration fees and stuff like that. So it costs about $3,000 for the average student to do a year in university.
Well, I mean, that's nothing compared to what the US you want to go to. Yeah. Be in debt forever.
Yeah, that's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
And then I saw in South Korea, the Seoul Mayor Seoul, he is going to spend 54 million to set up some blockchain districts in Seoul. His name is Park Won-soon, which I'm sure you could do some good jokes about. I will Park Won-soon. Anyway, he's the mayor, and he's setting up that money to have 2 business districts, and wants to encourage 200 blockchain companies by 2021 He's traveling all over the place. Clever man. He's in Switzerland, Estonia, Spain. He signed MOUs in Zurich. He wants to get blockchain tie-up. He's into Zug. And they're also planning on launching sort of a government-backed coin, an S-coin, soon. So clever move to, he's not only he's doing it, but he's also traveling the world and meeting everybody. So very clever man, clever country.
Yeah, really, really good. I have something nice here. Well, not nice, but obviously EOS is having some scandals and things. So it's been criticized a lot. The 21 block producers sort of set up how it works on EOS blockchain. So they are essentially the miners of EOS. However, it is controlled by mainly exchanges. And there's been some sort of evidence that people have been paying to get votes to get into power. So EOS is apparently looking into it, but they have neither confirmed or denied these accusations. And it was happened in Huobi. One of their former employees leaked a document, a spreadsheet that said that they'd been paying for votes. Huobi, of course, is saying that they are doing an investigation, but there was no financial contracts involved between Huobi and a third party. Vitalik Buterin is, of course, saying, "I told you so." So yeah.
I think someone said it's a bit like Game of Thrones in there at the moment.
Yes.
But they will. I remember before when I said to you about EOS and they have their main net went down. You were saying it's early days. It's a great concept. Dan Larimer is doing it for the right reasons, I think. So it's not looking to, there are conflicts certainly. I mean, and I work for the EOS Dublin crew, and they're the best in the world. They're fantastic guys. And but yeah, they need to iron some stuff out, and it hasn't quite worked yet. And,
yeah, well, it is very early days, but yeah, if people can take advantage of things, they are going to do that.
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, these exchanges, they're in it to make money, not to, probably not for the vision.
Not to be the custodials, of the chain, yeah.
And also, there's so how it's set up is if you have EOS, then you have the right to vote. However, if you're keeping it on an exchange wallet,
they have the proxy vote.
Yeah, so they own the wallet, and this means that they get to vote. Yeah. Now, Bitfinex is trying to find a way. I believe it was Bitfinex to kind of give their users voting power if they do have EOS in their wallets. But currently, it's the exchanges that control that.
Yes, yeah. I think it'll be sorted out. I think there's enough. There's quite a lot of transparency about it, which is good, being talked about. So I'm hoping too, because I love working with the team in Dublin. So I really want it to work out. Really, really good. So then there was now how do you pronounce this? Is it the Winklevoss brothers or the Winklevoss? The first W or the V?
First one is W.
So it's pronounced with a W, not a Winklevoss. Yeah. So, and this would be of interest to, I'm saying, Black Insurance. They have Gemini, their business. They're partnering with leading insurance companies to provide coverage on custodial digital assets. So insurance-backed custodianship, which is, I think, could be the way forward because people can't afford to lose their assets. So they need to have some form of insurance. So those guys, again, leading the way, trying to get their ETFs in and trying to get, insurance in. And I wouldn't mind having their bank balance.
Yeah, definitely. See if I have anything else here. Oh, well, it's the price. I'm kind of bored talking about it now. Bitcoin has been really stable recently, which is weird. So it's kind of bouncing around 6,300 and 6,500. Ethereum's not doing much either. Ripple's lost 15%. Same, different day, same story. Yeah. So it's kind of.
I read someplace that crypto donations are on the way up, and the reason behind it is it's not that people just suddenly are rich and they want to give the helm of that, but if you give your assets, apparently they're all tax deductible. So if you give, a couple of Bitcoin and they go up in value, you can offset the increased value against your tax liability. I'm not quite sure how that works, but that's why people are giving, because they're going, oh, I'm giving this, and then it goes up in value, and I can offset my income from other stuff against those that tax. So that's kind of, well, if it gets donated, it gets donated. I don't mind. I will take all donations. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm happy with any donations. If anyone wants to send me some.
Yeah, I think we should have a donation button, shouldn't we, on our YouTube site?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely money.
Because I'm fighting with somebody over, your man Jordan Peterson. I don't like him at all. I don't like him because he says something here, and it sounds reasonable. And next minute you're up here, and I'm going, I do not believe with that. How did I get from these pieces up to here? And I was having a bit of an argument with somebody over it, and then I read some more articles about it too as well. I'm going, I just don't like him. I really don't like him. But when he was saying,
there's nothing to like there. I
think he's very clever. I'll give him that. He's very, very clever. But I don't think he's truthful. I think that's the problem. And he puts things up and then twists them, and he's also he's a what do you call it? A narcissistic person. He's totally up himself. He thinks he's God's gift. I saw him in an interview, and the man walked over, and he's there like the Queen. And he's, the normal thing would be to get up, hello, and then sit down again. That's what you do. If you're a business person, you get up when someone comes across you. You don't just stand there and give them your hand. Ugh. But he apparently put up he's got a donation thing on his YouTube channel, and when he said he's going to be sacked because he wasn't going to follow that law about respecting transgenders, didn't want to be forced by law to be nice. He said, I might be sacked. There's never any danger of that, but his donations went through the roof. So maybe we should put up a wallet up there or something.
Yeah, why not?
And then I have to say, this week is the first week that I launched blockleaders.io. It's going brilliantly. It's really good. And Liina's going to be coming up soon. We've signed up the interview. And so if people have anybody they want to nominate for blockleaders.io, it's all about people who are in the industry, and it's to understand what makes them tick, not the project, them, the people, the individuals, what their inspiration is. So any nominations, please send them to us.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's been a good week. Do you think so?
Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, it's there's things are happening, and yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can hear the background noise. I have an interesting project. We are testing a crypto miner right now, and now people would say, "Why the hell would you mine crypto right now?" But this is a cool one. So this guy approached me, and he's about to start producing some sort of fish snacks, so dried waffle fish. And he says, "Okay, I need to dry them at a temperature of 30 degrees. Can I get that heat from a crypto miner?" Yes. And I said, well, but the problem here is electricity, so it will, not really be making any profit. It's like, okay, the electricity is solar, so that is not a problem. But I really like it because all the waste that comes from mining, I mean, the heat, the electricity that is used, and it's just nonsense. And now we are testing it with 5 cards. It's running now, and it is heating my whole flat. So it's wow. Nice.
And it's run by solar. And so you have solar. Do you have solar already, or did the chap give you the solar?
No, he will have solar in the plant. Yeah, so you're generating some cryptos because you're going to need that heat anyway. And mining with GPUs, 99% of the electricity will be turned into heat. So it's basically a very expensive heater, but give you some crypto. So it is kind of cool. And also I like it because the fish snacks, even though I don't eat fish anymore myself, but he is going to be making it from invasive species in the Baltic Sea. So there's 2 types of species that shouldn't be there, and it's destroying the ecosystem, and also people don't eat it.
Yeah.
So it's like waste. And he has figured out a product that you can make from these types of fish, because I think like grilling it or eating it, they're not specifically tasty, but dried snacks, it will work. So kind of saving the environment a little bit that way.
Yeah.
Also, making mining not completely pointless.
Tell them I'll test some of them as well, because my new house, I can keep my new house with the crypto mining. Tell them to talk to me.
Yeah, no, I've been thinking about this a while, because we built the first miner. It was, just a cool project, but it's leaking out so much heat, and I'm thinking, okay, how do I move the heat into all of the rooms? And it would be quite simple to do, actually. You just do it through ventilation. So let's say your temperature drops to a certain degree, and then a system opens a valve, and then all the heat gets let into the house. Or if the temperature is fine, it just lets it out. And the one I have here, it's actually not that noisy even. It's
I can't hear it. I can't hear it. But it sounds cool. It's like sometimes you see in pubs, they have like the little stove, inside the pub, and then they have a little fan on top. The fans are quite expensive, but the fan is the heat makes the fan work, and it pushes the heat from the stove right the way across the whole room. It's amazing. It actually, because otherwise you're grand if you're next to the stove. That's why there's a little pot belly stove. But if you're on the far side of the pub, it's cold. But this fan just moves all the air around. Very, very clever.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that idea. I want one of those. I want mine, and I want to have my house warm.
We can build you one if you want.
I'd love it.
My husband is putting it together, so I know in theory how it works, but I let him get on with it. But yeah, it's like building a really powerful computer, essentially.
Wow.
But there's few things to look out for. Not all cards work. You need to find the one that gives you the most hash rate for the least electricity used.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's definitely a fun project.
That's a lot of fun. Wow.
Yeah, money-making machine. That would be fish.
Yeah. And the fish snacks, are they for people or are they for fish?
Sorry?
No, they're for people?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of like waffles. So something to snack with beer or something like that.
Wow. Oh, I definitely want one of those. Send me his details, because I'll interview him with blockleaders.io.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. He sounds a perfect. We want these crazy mad people. That's not. Yes, I want to interview him. Brilliant.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, excellent. Well, I think this has been a brilliant week. And your son is 3 today. Is it actually his birthday today, or just the party?
His birthday was actually end of September, but when we were going to have the party, he got a bit sick, so we had to postpone, because autumn is here and all the children are snotty. But yeah, we came straight from the birthday party. It was fun.
Good. Good. Well, I'm heading out to a hunter trials, which is cross country with horses, jumping. So I'm going to head out and meet my pals out there, all wrapped up. So I'm looking forward to a fun afternoon. Wow, so I think it's been a brilliant week.
Yeah, I agree.
Excellent. Okay, well, until next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Like and subscribe, and put a link up here to donate your millions to.
Excellent.